Hi everyone, this is Rick. I want to do this personal video log as a sort of a follow-up to the Fire the Grid event. Essentially, Fire the Grid was about initiating a global movement towards healing the planet. Because let's face it folks, the Earth is in trouble. CO2 levels are rising, the weather patterns all over the world are shifting, the polar ice caps are melting, glaciers that have been around for tens of thousands of years have actually started disappearing in the past decade, and all of the scientific evidence points to the fact that we are responsible, or at least we are certainly not helping. Now, I don't know about you guys, but as an individual, there's a part of me that's thinking that this whole issue is now so big, there's nothing we can do about it. What can I as an individual do? I'm just one man among like 6.5 billion people living on the planet. Well, I've recently discovered that actually there is something that we can be doing about it, but it's only going to happen if people actually act on it. Recently, a voluntary organisation that's basically replanting rainforest, they approached me and asked if I wouldn't mind helping them make a promotional video. So, I said, sure, I'd be happy to help. And so I set about researching the actual effects of deforestation on the planet in order to make a sort of a factual, almost like a documentary. So I'll have some sort of, cold hard facts to present. As soon as I started my research, it didn't take me long to understand the kind of trouble that we really are in. Some of the facts and figures that I was turning up were really shocking. I mean, really shocking and pretty scary. Now, I know we hear it all the time, global warming, the Earth is in trouble, global climate change is coming, sea levels are going to rise, yada yada yada, we've heard it all before. And I don't know whether we've just got so used to hearing this sort of mantra that we've just become sort of desensitized to it. I don't know whether we genuinely don't care, or just this is such a big problem that we feel we just can't do anything about it anymore, or whether we think that somehow it doesn't affect us and we need to sort of actually have a tidal wave coming through our front door before we sort of get motivated to do anything about it. I know that as I was watching 9/11 unfold on the telly over here in the UK, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but what I was seeing on the telly, I couldn't, my brain wasn't registering it as real, as reality. And my brain just couldn't grasp the sheer scale of it. And I'm wondering if that's what's happening here, because the levels of human apathy towards this whole global issue is staggering. Let me give you some figures to sort of back up what I'm saying here, okay? Let's just focus on one issue alone, deforestation. Okay, that's a big measurable issue that everyone knows is really bad for the Earth. We all know rainforests all over the world are being cleared at a phenomenal rate. You've probably heard this before, that the rainforests are like the lungs of the Earth. Well, that's absolutely true. They are quite literally the lungs of the Earth. Okay, they perform one of the most important jobs on the planet by continuously recycling carbon dioxide into oxygen. They are one of the Earth's most important commodities for sustaining life, and we're cutting them down. We must be the stupidest creatures on the face of the planet. We are literally cutting our own lungs out one piece at a time. Experts estimate that the last remaining rainforests are likely to be consumed in less than 40 years. That's possibly mine and your lifetimes, certainly your kids' lifetimes, and most certainly your grandchildren's lifetimes. And get this, more than 20% of the world's oxygen is produced in the Amazon rainforest. That means 1/5 of the oxygen you're breathing right now comes from the Amazon rainforest. 40 years time, the Amazon is not going to be there. We're going to be at least 1/5 down on the oxygen that we breathe, and that's just the statistics for the Amazon. That doesn't take into account the other oxygen supplying rainforests around the world. This craziness has to stop, and it has to stop really, really sort of soon, like now, if not now, yesterday. We are digging ourselves such a massive hole for the whole global community. Nobody's going to escape from the effects of this. And here's the really scary bit. 1.5 acres of rainforest are lost every single second. This video is about 10 minutes long. In the time it takes you to watch it, over 900 acres of rainforest will have been destroyed. It's pretty conclusive, folks. We're all in trouble, and we cannot just go home and close the door on this. It won't go away, and our kids and our grandkids are really not going to be thanking us for the legacy it looks like we're going to be leaving them. So what's the plan? What can we do? Actually, we can do things. Okay, there are things out there that are already taking place trying to tackle the problem. Planting trees is absolutely the way forward. Yes, we have to take immediate action to stop deforestation of the rainforest. We all know realistically that it's probably not going to happen, you know, sort of overnight. So replanting is the way forward, and we have to replant literally like there's no tomorrow. The name of the voluntary group that approached me to make them a video is called La-reserva. Now, they're a really great place to start. A small donation will enable you to sponsor the planting of a tree or even a segment of rainforest, and you can even go down to Costa Rica, where they're based, and actually do some planting yourself. There's another organisation called Trees for the Future. Now, so far these guys have managed to plant around 50 million trees and forest gardens, which are helping to sustain entire communities in developing countries. And they're doing it through these rather ingenious and highly effective land management projects. Folks, I cannot stress how much we need to do something right now. When I took on this project, it was such an eye-opener for me. I now realise how complacent and how laid back I've been about the whole thing. But when I started looking at the figures, you know, I'm realising we are in so much trouble, and the longer we leave it, the bigger the hole that we're going to be digging for ourselves. This is not something that can wait anymore. It can't wait another month. It certainly can't wait another year. And this is only going to work if we all act, okay? If we all get up off our backsides and do something right now, we may have a chance to avert a global catastrophe. It's easy for us to just sit down and make 1,000 different excuses about why we cannot do something. You know, I'm too tired, I'll do it tomorrow, I don't have enough money. So that's why I wanted to sort of make this video log, realising just how much in trouble we really are, and seeing how much human apathy there is towards this whole situation has really wound me up the wrong way. The crazy thing is, we can do something about it. It's not too late, but it really looks like it's down to that whole thing of, you know, we can't be bothered. It's somebody else's problem. And, you know, that's what makes it just so infuriating. This is not just some made up stuff. You know, in 40 or 50 years, our grandkids are literally not going to be able to take a fresh breath of air. And it's all down to the inaction of their grandparents. And unless we choose to take action on the kind of scale that's actually going to turn this situation around, our entire generation is going to be remembered either as the generation that couldn't be bothered, or the generation that simply didn't care. We can make a difference, guys. All of us, each and every one of us, can turn this whole global situation around, but it's going to take the cooperation of the entire world. The whole global community are going to have to be a part of this. Let me put it to you this way. If every person on the planet sponsored or planted a tree, we probably won't be having a global warming situation. Please do not have the attitude of this is for somebody else, this message is for somebody else. This message is for you. You sat there watching this television or this video screen or whatever it is you're watching this on. This is information for you to do something with. Okay, run this through your consciousness. You know, do you want your grandkids to be able to breathe in 40 years time? Because this is what it's coming down to now. So make a decision, make a good decision, and act on it. That's the most important thing in the world. Act on your decision, and come on, guys, let's make a difference. Let's sort this thing out. So that was my video log. I really felt a need to sort of shout out these figures. So I'm going to leave the ball in your court. This is, you know, it's your shout what you do. I'm sort of trying to, you know, whip up a little bit of support here. But the thing is, a little bit of support isn't going to cut it. You know, we need millions and millions and millions and millions of people. There are 6.5 billion people across the world. You know, if we all plant a tree, we're not going to be in trouble anymore. It's a really oversimplified solution, I know, but you know, we can do it, guys. And on that note, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.